Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now I realise I haven't made too many videos lately, but I'm excited to show you guys I got some more animated poses for the channel. See, this new one is perfect for when I've been slacking on YouTube and need to apologise for it. But putting that aside, I felt like the Pokemon scene on YouTube is quiet to say the least, and let's be honest, us Pokemon fans have only one thing on our mind, and that's Generation 8. I personally don't like making all these Gen 8 videos, especially with nothing officially announced, but it's honestly the only Pokemon topic that excites me at the moment. So since there is currently no official news, I thought I'd go over the top 10 Generation 8 rumours. Now I have to make this very clear, please don't mistake these rumours for fact, there might be some truth behind them, but in all honesty we won't know till Generation 8 comes out. Also, these rumours are ranked in both believability and how interesting they are to me personally. Now before we start today's video, as always, question of the day, what rumours have you heard about Generation 8 and which ones do you want to be true? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to drop it a like and subscribe if you're new. Also, I know I don't usually do this, but a lot of videos aren't making it to sub boxes recently, so hit the notification bell if you're a regular watcher of the channel, it's very much appreciated. And with all that out the way, let's get on with the video. Starting off our Generation 8 rumours is the most obvious rumour of them all, that Pokemon Generation 8 will be the next Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch. Now you might be thinking, well surely that's confirmed already, but officially it's not been. Pokemon said last E3 that they're working on a core Pokemon game, so a main series game, for the Nintendo Switch with a 2018 to 2019 release date. Now is it very likely that the Pokemon game on the Switch is Generation 8? Absolutely, in fact I'd be very shocked if it wasn't. But since it hasn't been confirmed yet, all we can say about Gen 8 being the Pokemon Switch game is all based on rumour. For all we know, it could be the heavily rumoured Pokemon Stars from last year, although like I said, it's very doubtful. So I'm sure it will be Generation 8, but as of now, it's just a rumour. Now this next rumour is similar to the last one, and it's about Generation 8 release schedule, and this is that Generation 8 will be released sometime this year. I know there's big debate on whether this game will be out either this year or 2019, but there have been rumblings amongst game news sources that Pokemon Gen 8 on the Switch will be out this year. At E3 last year, they said that the Pokemon Switch game will be releasing either 2018 or 2019, which is obviously an estimate as Game Freak was still working on the game. Now it's not even been 2 years since we last got Pokemon Sun and Moon, so a lot of fans feel like it's still too early for Generation 8. However, recently the Spanish official Nintendo magazine published an article saying that Pokemon Generation 8 will be coming to the Switch in 2018. Now although it is an official Nintendo magazine, it doesn't have the best track record as it's made some errors in the past according to journalists. There's also a snippet from another Spanish game magazine about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now when those games were releasing, it said that it would let you return to Sinnoh in this magazine, which obviously wasn't true. And I've heard mixed reports about which magazine this came from, but if it wasn't from the Spanish official Nintendo magazine, then they at least have the same publisher apparently. So either way, this Spanish official Nintendo article about Pokemon Switch coming out in 2018 is sketchy at best. However, a 2018 release date isn't the craziest thing, and there are a lot of rumours in this video to kind of back that theory up, as you guys will find out. So if Pokemon Gen 8 does come out this year, it's fair to say it needs to be announced soon so there's enough hype and build up for fans to get excited. With almost half the year gone, Generation 8 needs to be announced soon, especially since the majority of Pokemon games are announced in the early months of the year, with X and Y being announced in January, Oras in May, Sun and Moon in February, and Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon in June. If we look at the past games like Oras and Ultra Sun and Moon, it's not that unusual to have a Pokemon game release around this time of year. And with a lack of Nintendo Switch games announced for 2018, it's fair to expect that we'll see a lot of new game announcements at E3 in June. Although Nintendo don't do the main stage announcements like they used to, we can expect a pre-recorded Nintendo Direct that will shed some light on their new games. And allegedly Pokemon Switch will be one of them, which makes sense as it was mentioned last E3 with a potential 2018 release. There have been rumours about Nintendo's E3 plans, but none have been confirmed at this moment, but still I think it's fair to expect Pokemon Switch at this year's E3. The next rumour is actually the most recent one on this list, which hit the internet early this week. Although its credibility isn't great, it's a hot topic in the Pokemon community at the moment, so I thought I'd include it. This is that Pokemon on the Switch will be based in Kanto. Now to me, that doesn't really sound like something I'd expect with a new generation, but Game Freak might be thinking of a soft reboot, so we return to Kanto with old and new Pokemon. Now personally, this idea is very unlikely. From a creative point of view, I think Game Freak would like to create their own new region for a new generation. I'm not against a return to Kanto one day, but it would have to be as an after-game story like Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And also, if we're returning to a new region anytime soon, it better be Sinnoh and not Kanto. Whilst researching rumours for Pokemon Switch, I came across an interesting article that was published back in January 2014 about their next Pokemon generation. So at that time this would have been Generation 7, since we just had Pokemon X and Y. However, looking back at this, it might have been about Generation 8 instead, which means Game Freak had been working on the Switch title for a long time now. When this article was published, we knew nothing about the Nintendo Switch, yet somehow, some of the alleged points raised sound exactly like how the Switch works. So for example, it said these games were being made for a new Nintendo platform, which Sun and Moon weren't. It also goes on to say that more traditional Pokemon-like gameplay will be on the handheld controller, while all new gameplay aspect will be on the terminal unit. Now to me that sounds exactly like how the Nintendo Switch works, even though there was no knowledge about it back then, which makes this article very interesting. So if it turns out that this information is true and this source was correct, then it suggests that Pokemon on the Switch, otherwise known as Gen 8, has been in the works for a while, making the 2018 release date fairly reasonable. Coming in at the halfway point is a rumour that will get a lot of fans talking. These are rumoured starters for Generation 8. No, I'm not talking about the lemur, rabbit and platypus. We know they're fake Pokemon, even though I kinda wish they were real, especially the platypus. Getting back to it, the starters I'm talking about are the ones brought up by the Japanese Riddler. This isn't the Chinese Riddler who revealed Sun and Moon info, this is an entirely different source that originated in Japanese forums recently. The Japanese Riddler, as we'll call them, gave us 3 images that related to the Generation 8 starters, leaving it up to the Pokemon community to decide what these starters could be. These hints were the hero of Dragon Quest VIII, a maze, and a Chinese character called Sha Wu Jing. If we think of the order of Pokemon starters, the first one will be related to grass, second to fire, and third to water. The image of the Dragon Quest character shows a little mouse on his shoulder, which suggests it could be a grass type mouse. The second image, which is a maze or labyrinth, could hint at a Minotaur from Greek mythology. Since there's a big theory that fire starters are based off the Chinese zodiac, it would make sense if the fire starter was an ox, since that hasn't been done yet. The final image, Sha Wu Jing, is often known as the water buffalo for his stubbornness and physical approach to life, so the water starter could be based off a buffalo. Let me know what you guys think about these rumoured starters in the comments below. Up next are the rumours about Generation 8's region. Now this is a region either based off Spain or Italy. Since Generation 5, Pokemon regions' inspirations have become more global, with Gen 5 being based on New York, Gen 6 on France, and Gen 7 on Hawaii. So following that pattern, it would make sense if the next generation is based off another European country. Although of course it could be possible that the next region could be based in Asia, South America, and even Africa. So what's the basis for the Spanish and Italian region rumour? Well firstly, ever since X and Y were released, fans have been expecting a return to the Kalos region, especially since there was so much wasted potential. Geographically, Spain and Italy are very close to France, where Kalos is based off, so some fans would like to see a return to Kalos for post-game, just like we could return to Kanto in Pokemon Gold and Silver. Pokemon X and Y are also the only generation without a third game, so I think a return to Kalos is definitely justified. Some fans have also been speculating that Ash's clothes from this year's Pokemon movie are a hint that the next region will be based on Spain, since his jacket's collar looks like the Spanish flag. If you guys had to pick, would you rather have a region based on Spain or Italy? Let me know which one and why in the comments below. Ever since Pokemon Sun and Moon came out back in late 2016, there has been many questions about certain files that were left over. These files were animations for every single Pokemon walking and running, which suggests Game Freak were trying to implement this into Sun and Moon but had to scrap it. Now it would be a big waste to get rid of all these well-made animations, so it's very likely that we will see Pokemon following you in Generation 8. We saw in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon certain Pokemon that you could interact with that used their movement animations, like Rockruff for example, as well as Xurkitree who you can see running when you visit its world through the Ultra Wormhole. With all these Pokemon running and walking animations left in Pokemon Sun and Moon's data, it's honestly no surprise that there are rumours out there, and quite strong ones, that suggest that Pokemon Following You will return for Generation 8. Just missing out at the number 2 spot is the rumoured new mechanics that are allegedly coming to Generation 8. These new mechanics are from various different sources, so obviously take them with a pinch of salt like all the other rumours so far. So for the first source on these new mechanics, we're going to return to the article that mentions hardware similar to the Switch back in 2014. Some of the new features for the alleged game include a new Pokemon type that is similar to Shinies, which I mentioned in my last video about the Ultra Shiny trademark. It goes on to mention that the mainland of the region is an MMO-like environment that is exclusive to the terminal, meaning when the Switch is docked. Players can also experience new updated stories on the mainland, and there's also a new feature called Pokemon Band, which is a co-op experience where Pokemon dance and make music together to get the highest score. Other rumours gathered on PokeJungle suggest that Z-moves will return and will be activated by Joy-Cons, which doesn't sound exciting to me at all, and a new battle system which will be similar to old Pokemon games, but it will also be real time, allowing you to attack or block moves from your opponent. Definitely seems like it will be a controversial change, but I'd like to see some sort of change up for Pokemon battles. Let me know what you guys think of these alleged new features and which one would you like to see the most. Coming in at the number 1 spot is a rumour I'm very much interested in and hoping it turns out to be true. This rumour is that we'll see a new evolution in this year's Pokemon film. Now, is this the craziest rumour on this list? No, far from it. But I know I'm not alone in thinking that the new evolutions are one of the most exciting things for when a new generation launches. Since Generation 3, evolutions have been introduced in waves, with them normally missing out on a generation and then coming back for the next one. So far, evolutions have been missing for Generations 3, 5 and 7, meaning we're due a new one for Generation 8, which is super exciting for me as Eevee and evolutions are some of my favourite Pokemon. Since Sylveon was one of the first Gen 6 Pokemon revealed for Pokemon X and Y, it would make sense to see another evolution revealed early on for Generation 8. To make matters more interesting is that one of the characters in the new Pokemon movie has Eevee as their partner, which has got a lot of fans talking about a new evolution and whether we'll see it in this film. As for what typing it could be, fans are speculating it could be flying due to Lugia's involvement in the film, but if there is a new evolution in this film, it is honestly hard to say which type it could be. So if a new evolution does appear in this film, what type do you want it to be? So far we're missing Bug, Dragon, Steel, Poison, Flying, Rock, Ground, Fighting, Ghost, and potentially Normal type. So let me know which one you want in the comments below. So those are my top 10 rumours about Pokemon Generation 8. Let me know in the comments if there's any I've missed, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, as well as subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!